Right, if you could all open up your books and write the date and the long date and the title in your books, underline with a ruler. So this group here, so green table and purple table. Once you've got the date and title, I want you to make a start on your starter. So if you could put a little subhead in saying starter. Oliver, would you be able to grab some scissors for the two tables so you can snip?
Make sure you underline, if you underline.
Snip your challenges, stick them in your book and answer them in your book. The title is Using Speech to Advance the Action. So you've got your things here so you can see, because you probably won't be able to see on the board, okay? You probably won't be able to see what I've got on the board there, so you've got the printouts here, so you can go through the slides with me at the same time. So we're in the second week of our writing journey. So the skill that we're wanting to perfect this week is dialogue, okay? We want to be using descriptive reporting clauses to move the story on. So that is what we mean by using speech to advance the action, okay? Right, group one. Are we ready to make a start? So we've got the title in our book, yeah? Good, right. Looking at our first slide, let's have a think about speech. When might we need to use speech? Why would we need to use speech, do you think? Do we use speech when we are writing a biography? Would we be using speech when we write a non-chronological report? When do you think the best time to use speech would be? What do you think, Lucas? When someone's talking, good. And what kind of text would that be in, do you think? Yeah, yeah, we'll need to use inverted commas, but when we're writing a narrative, yeah, so when we're writing a story, that's when we'll need to use speech. So as we know, we're writing an action narrative about Darwin. We've already addressed the bit where he's been caught in a storm at sea, so now we're going to be focusing on the end bit of that. So we want to be thinking about what the characters might be saying once the storm has passed, yeah? So for this purpose, we're going to be using speech for narrative.
Question marks, exclamation.
Amazing, good job. So any punctuation you use, so that could be commas, exclamation marks, question marks, need to go in within the speech marks, inverted commas. So can you on your whiteboards, which one is correct, A or B? And then can you explain why? And discuss this with your partner as well.
Have a discussion on your tables between you and your pairs.
So write A or B on your board, and then can you discuss with your partner why you think that is correct? Explain why. So you guys put A, so why? So explain to each other why. Why is A correct? Can you discuss it with your partner? So why have you written that? So once you've written A or B or whatever, can you put down why you put that? You don't need to write it. Talk to Aaron about it. So write A and then why. Why? Why did you put A? Discuss with your partner.
Okay, so this table, what do we think? So you've had a discussion. I'm going to pull some lolly sticks now. I want to hear what you think about punctuating speech. You've had a go at it because we've had a go at writing the middle part of our narrative. So what did you have to do? Leighton, tell me something. Well done. So we need speech marks, or we might know them as inverted commas. Brilliant. Well done. What else do we know? Sophia? Well done. We might need a comma after the speech. Lucas, what can you tell me?
You put full stop at the end as well, yeah. So put the full stop at the end.
Full stops or
the end of the report sentence. So I've done. Right, next.
exclamation marks or question marks. Question marks if it's a question.
Which is
Well done.
You explain why. So same, can you write A or B on your whiteboard and then discuss with your partner which one is correct.
Brilliant. Well done. I really
And why.
like how you explained why we need to use different pieces of punctuation. So you
What's
asked
different
when we go
here?
together, but then
What's
about-
different
where
as
does
well?
this
So
punctuation fit
write on your
in
whiteboard which
speech?
one is correct,
Do I
and then with
put
your partner
right at the end
discuss
after I've finished everything?
why. And what was different here? What is different with this speech?
Maybe if there's a bit of action, or we're going to put them inside the inverted commas, aren't they? So let's have a look at my checklist that I've got here. So I'm saying, if we're going to be punctuating speech, we need to make sure that if there's a new speaker, we're putting their speech on a new line. We're going to use a capital letter at the start of the speech, yeah? So do you remember that the first word that gets spoken, we need to write it with a capital letter. The punctuation goes inside the inverted commas, and like you guys said, it might be a comma, full stop, punctuation, an exclamation mark or a question mark. And then if the reporting clause comes before the speech, we'll use a comma before the speech starts, okay? Good, because that can come before or after, can't it? Brilliant, well done. Right, what's the next bit? We've done that bit. Okay, so how confident are we feeling about punctuating speech? Good?
So you're saying B is correct because A is wrong.
We're going to have a go, aren't we? So if you look in your books, have you got a sheet stuck in? You've got a sheet stuck in? Brilliant. So let's have a look at the first one together. If you could take out your purple pens for this, then I'll really be able to see your work over the typed letters. So the first one says, we have to fight for our freedom. I've spotted some mistakes on that one. Have you? Oh, Kira can. So what's the first thing that you've noticed there? Because I can see that we're starting with inverted commas. We've got a capital letter. We have to fight for our freedom.
What have they done?
What's wrong there? What have I done here, Leonie? Well done. So my exclamation mark has came outside of the inverted commas and it needs to be inside. So with your purple pens, can you fix that for me? So I'm going to...
And then talk to your partner about which one.
Brilliant. Yep, you can cross it out. You can do whatever you need to do to correct it for me. So that when I go and look at this, I can be like, that's what's meant to happen. Good. I think you guys can have a go at doing the rest of them. Yeah? So I'm going to leave you now to go through 2, 3, 4 and 5 independently. And then I'll come back and see how we're getting on. Good. Just put lines up. Right, you guys, how are we doing here? So how many questions do you think we've got done? 3, 4? Green table, how are we doing? Good. What I'd like you to do now is just to make sure that you're on the right track. In the bottom of your basket, can you find your honesty sheets? And using your purple pens, I just want you to self-mark your questions.
Great discussions, love that. Right, let's pick a lolly stick. So I had lots of great discussions on that table, so let's have a look. Oh, Angelina, which one do you think is better and why? The second one, and why do you think that?
Until you've got a few more questions done before you go and that mark your work, okay? If you're stuck, just move on to the next question. If you're not sure, just write anything.
Really impressed, guys. Lots of you also said it's because a reporting clause is telling you who, why, how, where, isn't it? What's going on. And lots of you have identified that. Lots of you have said who's doing something, where it's happening.
Good, what's your mark? If you keep going, you may find that if you're getting them all right, and you'll find them a little bit too easy, you can go on to the next sheet. So challenge 2 is more of a reasoning problem. So if you get them all right, move on to challenge 2. Yeah. Hey, how are we doing over here?
Table. Darwin, get up. This isn't time to be a coward. We need all hands on deck. There's been quite some damage from the storm and it's only going to get worse. So is this a good example of a reporting clause justify with your partner? You can justify your answer with your partner if you want to. So thinking about a reporting clause, thinking about what we just spoke about on our last slide. Think about it, has this happened in this? Isn't it telling us who, why, where?
Look, so we need to make sure that L is capitalised. And then we've got an exclamation mark. That can work, can't it? Because somebody could go, look! And they're shouting it, aren't they? They're carrying on the speech, so then we can start again. There's the ice cream van. Now, what punctuation is used at the end of that statement? What have we got there? Yeah. Well done. It's a question mark. So you wouldn't say, look, there's the ice cream van. So how else would we be saying, here's the ice cream van? What might... You could be shouting it. So if you're shouting it, what punctuation are you using? An exclamation mark. Well done. What if I'd already got everybody's attention by shouting, look, there's the ice cream van? What other punctuation could I use? A full stop? Yeah, I could use a full stop as well. Does that make sense? Yeah, and is it inside the inverted commas? Perfect. Well done. So I'm going to look over what we've got so far. Brilliant, that was in the wrong place, wasn't it? Good, fantastic. What about that last one? Have a quick look at that last one. What's wrong with that one? Oh, we've got it. Fantastic, well done guys. Great. How's this one looking? Oh, so you've decided to get rid of that exclamation mark and put a comma there instead, yeah? Which is absolutely fine. So if you're putting a comma there, what should you do to the T there?
It is a good.
Good job, well done. I like that idea because nobody else has done that. Brilliant, well done guys. You're feeling confident with punctuating speech, I can see, so we're going to move on to the next bit. Right, can you put your packs and books on the floor for now, or somewhere that you can easily get it out in a minute, because I need some clear tables for this bit. Or you guys can just push yours forward. There we go. The next thing that we want to look at is the reporting clause. What is the reporting clause? Can we remember? Remember what a reporting clause does? Anybody? Or where the reporting clause might come?
Yeah, it's like where.
Okay, and he's glancing around. It's not just saying, look, it's really good vocab as well, isn't it? Bijan?
Not particularly.
Yeah, Darwin, it's showing us that Darwin's under the table, which might suggest that he is hiding, scared. So you don't have to say, Darwin is scared, Darwin is hiding. It's suggesting something else, isn't it, by what we've put, using our good vocab that we have.
Said is a really, really boring
Right,
word,
split
isn't it?
speech. So add a reported clause
we're
to
gonna
this
come up
split
with some other ones.
speech.
So if you could clear
So you're
your
going to
tables,
complete this in your
I've got
books
some
in a
big
minute.
paper on there.
And we'll use this actually. So reporting
I'm going to
clause.
ask you-
So I'm going to leave this up here to help you, okay?
3 minutes.
So who is involved? So the bit we just looked at, who was
As
involved?
many synonyms
Excuse me.
for
Gymno.
said as you
Charles
can
and
come up
Fitzroy.
with.
How did they say it?
All the paper,
Emma.
it doesn't matter what
They were
everybody else
confused. It
is
suggested
doing.
they were
You
confused.
write your own
Where
list,
did
but
they
nice
say
and
it?
big so that when I put it on the board,
Angelina.
put it on the board,
In the cabin,
everybody
and
can see,
what
'cause you
were
might
they
use these
doing?
ideas for later on. So in your section of the
And
paper, you
no.
write synonyms for said.
And Carol's good. So what you've got now in your books
Think about
is you've got a sheet that which says, do you feel that it's starting to rain? So you're going to add your reporting clause in underneath. Now you need to add in who, where, what and how. Yeah? Does everyone understand their task? Perfect. So off you go. So did you feel that? Do you want to go through one together or do you feel quite confident?
Did you see that? What am I doing? Or what if I said,
So,
well done? So, look over there. Whispered Miss Amiko. Okay.
so did you feel that?
Have you got another one? Because we don't want them too whispered, do we? Because that'll just look, that's not enough idea. Then there's not enough ideas there.
Remember the characters.
Yeah, shout it. Somebody might shout something. I'm not sure. What am I doing there?
Did you feel that? Who's
I could be asking. What did you just say? Stuttering, fantastic, well done. So we're starting to use some more adventurous vocabulary. So think about other ways that you could speak, Lucas. So, if I said, come on Lucas, let's go out to break.
So did you feel
How might I be talking then?
Are we going to say said the artist?
Or
How can we make that better? How can we make that
if somebody made a really high-pitched noise, they could be
I think we
what?
can do better than that. Emma.
Ah! There's a mouse!
The artist?
What did I do then?
Question.
Think about these synonyms for said. Good. Kira, would you just have a conversation with Lucas and see if you can come up with some ideas together? Yeah?
How would you make
Good.
saying it?
Brilliant. This list is
She's questioning it. How does she say it? Is she confused? Is she happy? Is she sad? Is she annoyed? Is she depressed? Ashna. She's confused. Yeah. Saying, asking confusingly, questioned the artist. Where did they say it? So it's starting to rain at the end of our speech. So how did they, where did they say it maybe? The top deck of the, of the boat. Are they going to be in the cabin? No, why are they not going to be in the cabin? Because of the rain. So it wouldn't make sense, would it? We need to make sure our reporting clauses make sense. And what were they doing? So what could the artist be doing at the time? Bethany. So she's painting, yeah. Okay? Does that make sense? So you can make a whole bit, so you can put, did you feel that? And then I want you to put your reported clause. If you want to change it, what we've just said, that's absolutely fine. If you want to use the ideas that we just had, you can do that also. Okay? Off you go, write that in your book. Remember your punctuation as well, okay? So make sure you've got capital letters, your speech marks. Sorry? Yeah, write the speech. I want you to write the whole sentence, okay? The whole sentence.
Let's have a look and see what we've got here.
Okay. You guys okay? How are you getting on?
I'm going to put one here.
Yeah.
If I put yours up here.
Need any help or? No? Kira, you okay?
Perfect. Maybe back upside down, but that's okay. Can you guys see that there?
So remember, if you remember
Just about.
your speech. Yeah, well done. Good job.
Good. And then we'll put this
You guys
one
okay?
in the
Need any
middle.
help?
Good.
Yeah, all right.
So we've got yelled, cried, asked, whispered, screamed, exclaimed, cried, yelled.
Well done. I can see lots of
mumbled,
you already putting the capital letters. Remember your speech
replied,
marks. Is that good job?
explained. These are fantastic. Groaned.
So you might say, question the artist. You don't have to use the artist. That was just a suggestion. If you would like to use something else, that's fine.
Not just said. Okay?
If you wanted to use Charles Darwin, you could. If you wanted to use the officer, you can. You don't have to use the artist.
Okay, so a reporting clause. Oh, if you want to get your stuff
Really
back
neat
in
handwriting as well,
front of
guys. Really
you
impressed.
now. Stuff back in front of you. A reporting clause
Oh, I like that.
indicates
Question, the
who has said
Is he
something
the captain?
and how they have
Yeah,
said
I
it.
love that.
It also tells the reader what the character is doing, their actions whilst they are speaking. Yeah? So, look at the examples, read the examples that you have in front of you. And can you identify who is speaking? Who is speaking? So we're reading those examples of speech, looking at the reporting clause that are in front of you. Thank you, Leonie, that's really helpful. So let's look at the first one. Have I missed it? John panted as he ran up the hill to stop where the lady in the polka dot coat was standing. So, who is talking there? Lucas, in that one, who's talking?
It's starting to rain.
What's the synonym
What haven't they done?
for said that has been used? Jason,
Bethany.
can you see it? Panting,
Yeah.
well done.
So he's got who, hasn't he? The confused sailor.
Wouldn't it? Have I missed
But he hasn't put where it was, how it's done.
rest and
and what are they
added more
doing,
description,
okay?
hasn't it? So we know
So you need to have a
exactly
think
what
about
he is
the
doing,
the whole of it.
where he is and who he's speaking to. Yeah, can you see that? So he's running up the hill to the bus stop. He's speaking to the lady who is wearing a polka dot coat. Okay. And the second one, after frantically rummaging through every drawer in her bedroom, Zara screeched from the top of the stairs, "Mum, I can't find my football kit." So what is Zara doing? Obviously she's talking, but what is she doing
I think they've done the reported clause actually very, very well.
as well as talking?
There's just something that
We can find that. Sophia, what do you think?
I'm just going to look at red table because I'm
Yeah, she's looking for her football kit. Where is she when she's speaking? When she's calling to her mum, Kira? At the top of the stairs. So can you start to picture these characters in your head? Can you picture somebody stood at the top of the stairs? Can you picture them rummaging through the drawers? The bedroom's going to look a mess, isn't it? So by having that description in the reporting clause, it's creating images for the reader as they read. Yeah? Good. So let's go on to the next.
Say how and where it was. If you want to use a purple pen to change it, you can. That's fine.
Right, I'm going to explain your task to you now. So go to the last slide. Have a look at that. So if you read page 8 where it says the task, I'm going to go and get your bits for the task.
Can you tuck your chair in, please? How are you getting on? Is you okay? Did you feel that question, the captain? Yeah, well, I'm confused. Then you can stop it there and you can add something else in now if you wanted to. Well, confused, so full stop, that makes sense on its own. And then what could we do?
So we're thinking
What could we add? So you've added who, because you've added the question of the captain, and they were feeling confused. So what could we, where did they say it? You can think about now. So where could they be?
He's been on HQRT.
Yeah, and who is she even saying? Who is the artist? Sorry, I'm assuming the captain, sorry, I thought you were doing the artist. So the captain, who's the captain saying it to? You could even be...
Yeah, but who are these crewmates?
Yeah, so you could say to Darwin, so on the, did you say on the top deck? Yeah, so you could say on the top deck.
The sailors might have been on there. So do you
Darwin.
remember who else might have been on the ship with them? If we're struggling to remember, we've got our character plan in our books that we can always go back to as well. I've got mine on display as well that might be able to jog your memories. Yeah. He would have had the specimens, so they're the things that he would have had, yes. Yeah, we might have had some kitchen staff. We might have had an artist. You can have whoever you want on the ship. So, when you're going through each of these scenes, doesn't matter which ones you start with, you want to be thinking, who would be here when this thing is happening? Where is it happening? What is happening? And how are they saying it?
Very top of the so far dry deck. Oh, I like that. As they were enjoying tea. It's starting to rain. Yeah, I love that. I love how you thought about the deck was so far dry, but because it's starting to rain, it's not going to be dry much longer. I love that. It's very good. Aaron, how did you?
Where they're saying it and what
It starts. Oh, you're redoing it? Okay, great. Is it because you've only just put who and not the rest? Well done.
If the scene was,
I'm glad that you spotted that because I think a lot of children have done that as well. So it's good that you're now thinking about what to add in.
It's so hot today, Kelly moaned as she sat on the grass fanning herself with her book. So it wasn't just, it's so hot today, Kelly said, because that's boring and I can't picture anything or where she could be. I think she might have been stood in a kitchen cooking a roast dinner. But by having that extra description that she was sat on the grass and she was fanning herself with a book, I'm now picturing it being a really hot sunny day and she's probably sat in her garden reading a book. Do you see? Yeah? So, if you make a start, choose one, stick it in your book and write some speech for that scene. Okay? Good. I'm going to come back and check on you in a moment. How are they doing? Are they ready?
Listen to one of theirs to make sure we're on task, but lots of them I've read in this.
Good, because I'm ready to move on. So when you're ready.
Ashley, can you just read me your first?
Right, group 3. Where are we up to? Brilliant, well done. Could you just stop where you are, get your honesty sheets out again and just self-mark your work? I'm just going to come round and see how we're getting on. If you've already done that, that's fine. Just keep going.
Stop here for a minute with me. You're going to carry on, and then Miss Nico will come to you. So make sure you're remembering those things and they're on the board, and any of the characters you need are also on the board, okay? What I'll do is I'll put the other thing up as the example up so you can
So do you remember what we did last time in that activity with Miss Hinton, which is why I said remember what you're doing?
for ideas.
So you know when you did that one? We're doing
I'll leave that
the
up so you
same.
can refer to anything if you need to, okay?
We're doing the same one.
Okay.
That's fine. If you can't, if you find it tricky, then
How are we getting on
We
over
can
here? What are we doing?
right. Are they ready? Are they ready to move on?
Yeah, they can. They've done a few sentences, so they can move on.
Good job.
How
Right,
are we going over here?
group
What are we
2
doing?
and 3. Could you just stop what you're doing now and look this way? So you've had a go at. You've had another go at using a previous writing skill, haven't you, in your starter? So hopefully we're feeling a bit more confident with using semicolons now. Maybe we'll get to see that in your work today. And you guys, we've had a go at perfecting our reporting clauses to advance the action. Yeah? So remind me, what kind of things should we be including in our reporting clause? Oscar, start me off.
We should be including who is involved.
Yeah, we want to know who is involved, not just Oscar said. We might want to mention who he is talking to. He might be talking to Petal, and we want to make that really clear. Emma. Yeah, we want to know how they said it. So we don't just want to say,
within the speech
look,
box.
there's a cat
Yeah,
whispered, Ashna. We might want to use some adverbs to describe, to add more description. Alex. What are they doing? So we don't want to say, this is really high, said Alex. We might want to mention that he is stood on the top of a ladder, climbing onto the roof. Yeah? And Oliver, what else? Where they are, yeah. So we might say where they are to. So climbing a ladder to the top of the roof. Good. Right. I'm going to explain the task then, and then we can get going. Okay, so look at this. Read this whilst I give you your sheets. So I'll give you one. Yeah, has everybody got some of these? Okay, so we've got we've got some speech written in 2 different ways here, haven't we? So the first one says, don't feed the monkeys, said the zookeeper, they have a special diet. The second one says, don't feed the monkeys, explained the zookeeper to the cheeky little boy who was slyly peeling a banana to sneak to the baby monkey by the fence. They have a special diet. Which one of these is better than the other, we want to know. Which one of these is better than the other? The second one? Why do we think the second one is better? Let's have a look. I agree with you, it's the second one. So if we could stick the second one into our books, and then let's see why. So, why is this one better? Nicole, you had your hand up, so why do you think this is better? A lot of description. Can we be specific with the description? Hydra. Well done. So, I'm going to annotate this bit. I can see that he's speaking to the little boy, so I can see who he is speaking to. Do I know where he is? Or what he is doing? Or how he is talking? Oliver? Yeah, so the boy is slyly peeling the banana. So the actions. Actions of the boy. What about the how? What about the how? How is the zookeeper talking? Bertie, have a look at this. How is the zookeeper talking? Does he shout? Does he explains, yeah. So this indicates that he's not screaming, he's not shouting at the boy, telling him off. He's explaining, isn't he? Good. So we've got the what. And where is this happening? Do we know where this is happening? Has he gone to the wild and found a monkey? Yep, so we know where. Is there anything else? So they don't know there's a zookeeper. So That'd be the where. It's his job.
Ooh.
Anything else to indicate where that they're at a zoo? What do you find? What do you find, Jay?
It's so hot, moaned Darwin, and then your speech marks. Where should the speech marks should have ended?
By the fence, yeah. So
What
by
is
the
he saying?
fence.
Is
So the
he saying
monkeys.
moaned Darwin? You spot where it goes, where does it need to go?
Enclosed, aren't they?
Good boy, well done. Yeah.
The monkeys aren't free to roam. They're behind a fence. They're enclosed somewhere.
That's how he's
Good.
moaning it.
So
That's really
we've
good.
annotated that one. You'll see that I'm going to give you some more to have a look at, and I want you to do the same. I want you to have a look at both of them, and I want you to think which is better, and then annotate around it in your book to show me why. Okay? Can you put your chair down so I don't trip over it?
Lovely, that's great. Right, now let's
We use our different coloured pen.
You can use a different coloured pen if you'd like to, if you need to write over anything.
So the seagulls obviously in the ship, and it's drifting towards an island. Is it an island maybe that Charles Darwin wanted to go to?
Oliver, did you hear that?
Maybe it isn't.
Has everybody got one of these now?
Because what do you think? Do you think it's an island they want to go to, or isn't they didn't want to go to? They want to. Okay, so great. So maybe you can even explain how Charles Darwin's excited that he's going to. So that could be something he says. Aha, we're here. Finally, we've arrived. Or I'm so excited to find my new. What does he find? Specimens or new? What does he find on the islands?
New
Animals or something like that. New samples. Yeah, great. So you could even have like Darwin as saying something to maybe the captain of the ship. Or say, hurry up, I want to get off, I want to...
how the bugs could have lived there.
So I'm looking now.
So they must have been
Who,
there,
how,
the
where,
bugs.
and what.
Mm. Sometimes you can keep the dead bugs though, because you can still like look at those.
And like put them up on frame.
Yeah, you know, put them in a
Nice. You're missing something at the end, aren't you?
Does that make sense? Does that give you a bit of an idea?
Yeah.
Great. Perfect.
Are we missing punctuation there? That's fine. Okay, so what I've noticed that we are missing a little bit of punctuation in our speech. So think about split speech.
So who could be saying that?
If we've got the reporting clause in the middle, we still need some punctuation before the second part of the speech. So after your reporting clause, you're either going to decide whether you need a comma before the speech starts again, or if that statement has finished and you need a full stop. Okay? We've got to have that punctuation in between.
You can see that people might be worried that he's not on the ship, like he's gone missing, because who's taking charge of the ship right now? Yeah? You think about how what people might say if they're worried or they're scared or... Do you know?
Really good example here. So watch out, screamed the captain to Darwin on top of the ship while he was holding his map to the helmsman. While he was holding his map. The topmast was struck by lightning and was falling down.
Shouted Darwin, so you said who?
That was close. Just check that makes sense in the middle bit. Some of us haven't got enough description in. We need a bit more. So are you telling, so if you have a look through one of yours, so maybe look at this one. Whereabouts on the ship are they stood? What are they doing when they're saying it? So are they just stood like this? If you just say they were stood there, I'm picturing somebody just absolutely motionless. Or are they holding on to something? Are they leaning on something? Are there other people around them? Do you see what I mean? So we want to add a bit more in there. Oh, well done. You spotted a mistake there. So are you going to include that on yours?
Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, probably the sail parts of it. Are we getting
Let me
on?
read back. The hot yeah. Blared the captain. Good. He didn't just shout, he blared. He's made a lot of noise. Don't let my specimens out of your sight. Brilliant. Well done. We're using a variety of punctuation. Chimney, let's have a look at yours. Did you feel that question? As he lifts his hand up. So, the problem that we've got with yours is we've got different tenses. So can you all just have a read through yours on this table? Read back through. Are you writing in the past or present tense? Because what we want to do to prove that our writing is at a year 6 level, we want to make sure we're using the correct tense consistently. So if you're writing in the past tense, make sure everything is in the past. So I can see here we've got questioned, and then here we've got lifts. So he lifted his head up, or he questions. Okay, just check those. These are looking good. If you think you'll finish those, we'll see if you can come up with one more of your own before we move on. Good, let's have a look back here. So, for the next one, which one do we think is correct? So, this isn't looking good. Charles, where are you? Is it the first or second one? Marnie, which one do you think it is? You think it's the second one? So Marnie says it's the second one. This isn't looking good, Charles. Charles, where are you? Asked Captain Fitzroy. Darwin, get up. This isn't the time to be a coward. We need all hands on deck. There's been quite some damage to the storm and it's only going to get worse. So I'm looking at the reporting clause here. So asked Captain Fitzroy. I'm going to compare it to the reporting clause for the other one. Confused, Fitzroy glanced around the cabin to find Darwin cowering under a table. Why do we think Amani's right? Is Amani right? Oliver, you think she is too?
Yeah, I think the other one, I think it has too much extra information that wouldn't be needed. Would that mean
You think there's too much extra information but it's not needed? Who would like to argue that? Alfie, do you agree with them? No, why not? Brilliant. Who, where, how, and what? Good, well done. There's more description, but we need that extra description so that we can create images in our head. We need to move the story on, okay? So by having these 4 elements in our reporting speech, we can move the story on, we can advance the action, okay? So then, if you could just have a look at with the person next to you for that last one. If you haven't started it, that's fine. But you just have that brief discussion. Which one have you chosen and why? So don't worry if you haven't got it in your books, just have a discussion with the people around you quickly.
He's telling you what he's doing and where he is.
Right, can we just look like we're doing something? Right, how are we doing? Is it safe to
Water off, yeah, off the deck.
Fantastic. Just think about you've got your proper nouns here. And you've got a random capital letter there. Yeah? That's really good. Well done. Let's have a look here.
He's saying something while he's doing this. Oh no, my belongings. Oh, yeah, perfect.
Can you read it to me? Is it safe now? How might he say it?
You're a bit stuck on this one. So the HMS Beagle drifted towards an island. So
But he's asking a question. Is it safe now? So what punctuation do you need?
So we can think about the island. Is it an island?
Have a think about that there.
To go to? Is it an island that they wasn't supposed to?
Okay, so let's hear what we thought then. So which one do we think is correct?
Took the wrong turn in and went into a wrong
Alfie,
Darwin's like, this is not the island I
the second one. Why did you and Nicole think it was the second one? You're right.
What are you thinking? Is it an island they wanted to go to? Maybe it's something they didn't want to go to.
Good. And what kind of extra information can we gain from this, Kiri?
The one I wanted to go to. I'm wasting my time. Things like that. Right, sorry, Leah, I need to finish. Just have a look. Let's make sure the punctuation is. Sorry.
Yep. And who is involved in this speech at this point in the story? Who is involved, Hydra?
The crew members.
The crew members and Sailor Sam. Yep. Good. So there's more description. Brilliant. Right. Groups 2 and 3, let's come together and look at the task today. Okay, so as you know, we've looked at before the storm happened. We've completed the middle bit during the storm, and now we want to focus on after the storm. So what could be happening during this part? What could be happening in this part? Because the storm's passed. The storm has passed now. Can you have a discussion with the people next to you? What could be happening in this part?
oh, my special books. Maybe add some like adjectives in to make it a bit more. Because if you just say no, my books, which yeah, you could be upset about that. But remember, his books were really special, like you said, didn't they? They had things that he had drawn and collected for years. So make it out like he's really, really upset. So you could be more like, no, my special books with my drawings in, or my, yeah? You see, you can add some bits in to make it even more descriptive. You can change it underneath if you want to, or you can add it out, don't worry.
Okay, so what could be happening now? What could be happening now? Aaron? Let's have a think. The storm has passed, so we're not going to be having the big waves now. We want to think about the aftermath. The storm has gone. Ashna?
I love this. I think it's a very good sentence, but I think...
Yeah, they're trying to fix the ship, so they need to fix the ship. What else could be happening? Angelina, what do you think?
Lovely. So you've had lots of adjectives in there. Great. Can you see how that makes it sound so much better?
Well done. So we're thinking about the specimens.
You add those adjectives in, where he is and what he's doing.
Specimens are lost, maybe. What else could be happening, Emma? So you're just sat in front of me.
So Darwin emerged from his hiding place. So for this one, I think we were talking about the desk before, weren't we? Remember how he was carrying and hiding from the desk? We did that the other day, didn't we? So emerging is like coming up from. So you can think about why he's coming up, maybe. From that.
Yeah, crewmates may have vanished. Bertie, what do you think could happen?
The clouds will clear away.
Yeah, the clouds clearing. So it's a really good opportunity for us to be thinking about pathetic fallacy, so we can set the scene using the moods of the weather. Nicole? Yeah, so there's going to be a sense of relief, isn't there?
What did you think about in the end?
And I'm sure you've got many more ideas, but hands down for now, otherwise we'll be here all day writing them down. And I want some original ones that nobody else has got. So what you're going to be doing today is you're going to be coming up with a scene or a scenario for after the storm. You're going to write it down and then mix up some speech to go with that. So for example, if I said it's the hottest day of the year, I would write that in my book and then I would write the speech that goes with it. So I might say, it's so hot today, Kelly moaned as she sat on the grass fanning herself with her reading book. I feel like I'm melting. Okay, so we've got the split speech in there, but we've also got the really detailed reporting clause to advance the action. Okay, that is the bit that I am looking for. These groups, I'm expecting you to be having a conversation, so another character is introduced. Tell me about it. Should we see if Mum will get the paddling pool out? Agreed her brother as sweat trickled down from his forehead. I think it got put in the shed. Okay, so we're thinking about that conversation and how detailed the reporting clause is to move the story on. Okay, we've got our characters that we mapped out in our books. I've put mine up here if anyone wants a reminder, but that is the task. Any questions?
Capital letter. Well done. Can you hold that capital letter?
Right, make a start.
Yes. Yeah. Good job. Perfect.
So remember, you can use the scenarios that we've came up with together, or you can come up with your own.
How are we getting on here?
Okay, are we thinking about that punctuation now, yeah?
What are you guys doing on here? What's your task?
Good, I like that you're moving the reporting clause around. Is everybody having a go at doing that?
So scenario, and then you're going to put speech in for the scenario.
Sorry, I can't see.
Lovely, I can't wait to read them.
I'm rewriting it.
Good job. Good job. Okay, right. What I've noticed is that everybody is putting the speech and then they're doing the reporting clause. But remember, the reporting clause can come before the speech, can't it? So maybe that could be your next challenge. But before you move on to the next one, could everybody just get out their purple pen and their ruler? Can you look at your reporting clause? Have you told me who is involved in the speech? So can you underline the bits to show me who is involved? So it might just be the character's name. It might be another character's name too. So if you've stated who they're talking to, so it might be Darwin questioned or Darwin whispered to Captain Fitzroy, then I've got two characters to underline. You should all have told me how they are speaking. And has anybody used the word said? Fantastic, brilliant. So underline your synonym for said. This is a bit of a challenge. Have you said where they're talking? So have you said that they're stood on the top deck of the ship? Have you said they're inside the cabin? Have you said that they're washed up on an island? So underline that where bit. Another challenge. Have you said where they are? Have you said where they are? Or what they're doing? What are they doing? So is he hiding? Is he curled up in a ball? Has he got his hands on his hips? Is he wiping sweat off his forehead? Is he gathering up all his specimens that are like gone everywhere? What is he doing? So have a think. If you've been able to underline those 4 things, you have created a really, really good piece of speech. If we've only got 1 or 2 of those pieces in, on our next go, can we add some more? Can we add some more? So that's your challenge. Good boy, keep going. We haven't got anything underlined, so I'm not sure if we're listening. Right, have we got at least one finished here on this purple table? No? You've just started. Oh, do you not have an idea? If you're spending too long trying to think of an idea, make sure you magpie one off there, okay? Just to get you started. What about us? Brilliant. Right, what I want us to think about is I want us to think about colloquial language. We heard of colloquial language before. So we want to be thinking about the way that a character would speak. An example could be from our guided reading book, The Windrush Child. So we can see that the way that things are spelt or the way that they're worded can suit the way that somebody speaks. So you might want to think, how would Captain Fitzroy speak? He would probably speak in a very formal tone. Yeah, he's an important person, he'd speak in quite a formal tone, whereas maybe a sailor, he would be speaking quite informally. Yeah, so you can think about contracting words, missing words out, some really informal language like oi. Yeah?
For asking. Well done, Emma's just made a really good point. If there's a new speaker, what do we need to do? Alex, a new line. Well done, Emma, yeah. It's a new line for new speaker.
You may be able to write their speech that really shows that difference in the way they speak. Yeah?
Okay.
So have a go.
So let's say some Captain Fitzroy,
Yeah.
a sailor speaking. So would one have to be very formal rather than with contracted words?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be for all of them, because if Charles, you may want him to be speaking quite formally, and so would Captain Fitzroy. So it's just distinguishing which characters and how, like the characters and how they speak. Okay?
Can we like say to, if someone's speaking to Captain Fitzroy, they would speak formally, but if they're speaking to like the artist, they can start speaking a little bit informally.
Fantastic, yes. Yeah, so, but you don't want to say he said it formally or informally. It's the way that you word your reporting clause that would suggest that. Okay, so you want to be thinking about how you would show that somebody is authoritative. Yeah? For your words. And that's what will bump your writing up. That's what will make it a greater depth example. Good. Right, this table, let's have a look.
That was my favourite. That's my favourite. It was really descriptive, Alex.
So have a look at here, your reporting clause there. Let's have a look. I like the way, yeah, that we're using different synonyms for said.
How you're setting the scene here. How he's on his knees, like no.
Right, this one I want us to have a look at. There's not enough description there. You've got the mast was broken off. The sailor should fix it, said Fitzroy. How's he saying it? Is he happy that they've said it? Is he just saying it casually? Is he quite flustered as he's saying it? Where is he? What's he doing? There's nothing there's nothing to advance the action at all there, especially using the word said. Also, can we make sure that our punctuation at the end of the speech reflects our reporting clause? So if somebody has exclaimed something, I want to see other punctuation than a comma, okay? Fix the ship? Fix the ship, asked Captain Fitzroy reluctantly.
What are you guys doing now? What have you underlining? The speech? Yeah.
I haven't finished it, but whilst on the ship, it crashes. What was that? Yelled the captain. Quick, the boat has crashed. Water is flowing in on lower deck.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the rest of that one. Good start, Leighton, really good. So what are we underlining now? The speech parts? Oh, amazing. Can I read it? Can I see if we made it better?
Alfie, what do you think I might say? Looking at yours, what am I going to ask you to check very quickly? As the storm carries on, a sudden beam of light can be seen from above. So, is it still happening now, this storm? Think about your tense, and I don't know why we've got a random capital letter there either.
That's okay, I'll come check it when you're finished. You're finished. Let's have a look.
Right, let me find...
Let's check your...
Oh, the officer.
Okay, quickly get that done. Kiri, have we checked ours? Is in shock. Oh, you're writing in the present tense. We cannot move the ship. Check your tense. Guys, lots of you are writing in mixed tenses. Come on, we need to be using a consistent text, a consistent tense throughout our writing. Proofread your work, don't rush through it. You're writing in the past tense, which is what you should be. The words should be reflected and be in the past tense.
The officers cried, there are some books floating. I think here you can change this a little bit. Because he's already said that the books are floating. So what could the sailors say? Instead of, so you kind of repeated there. So what could we, how could we maybe change that bit? You can even be, they might not even realise it's a book. You could be like, what is that out in sea? You can maybe change it to a bit like that. They're a bit confused to what is floating around. It's not what they usually see.
Think of any other words that said, because
so let's have a think. What would they be doing?
Washed up,
So think about the actions.
then I was going to add like a relative clause at the end. I can't have
You can use said. What was your relative? So said.
said whilst trying to get his sample before they get washed up.
Okay, that's fine. You haven't used said already, have you?
No.
You can use said. It doesn't matter. Just sometimes I think said is, you can use a better word than said to explain how something's been said. So what have you done? Have you underlined? What have you underlined so far? What did you need to underline?
Fantastic, great. We've got 5 minutes left, guys. 5 minutes. So some of you might want to finish what you're doing first, and then check back your punctuation, your reporting clause. Are you including everything? Are you advancing the action? Are you moving the story on?
Read some over and just see whether you can add some adjectives in, some description. Yeah, with all of them.
What does that word say there, Donna? As if he were.
Falling. As in, you know, like.
Okay, that's fine. So, like crying.
Yeah, like crying is, you know, that's what babies do.
Falling.
Okay, so you started off with who?
That's fine.
Want to take in charge now, asked one of the helmsmen, as he had his
Ooh la la. What? Slight remark.
Oh,
yeah, see that is the same. What have you changed? Just do how he.
What does that say?
Saberson.
Very adventurous names, aren't they?
How many? Maybe
I mean, part of the name was, you know, taken from Marvel superhero Professor X.
Okay, so you're using outside knowledge to help with your creativity. Agree with shut to the directions. How's he shouting it? So you've just put shouted Darwin. We want to move away from that bit. We want to add more. Right, Oliver, can I borrow your book because I want to put it under the visualizer? Right, let's zoom in. Okay, so I set group 3, if we could just look up a second. So I set you guys a challenge of using some colloquial language, didn't I? So Oliver has got an example here. It's quite hard to see with the pencil under there. So, we need to fix the ship, exclaimed a worried Darwin as he scurried around the deck. I don't want this ship to become a ruin. So there's words in there that suggest that he's speaking in quite a formal tone when he doesn't want the ship to become a ruin. Yeah? He says, I don't want it to get wrecked again. He's not saying that, is he? I don't want it to become a ruin. Agreed. Come on, mateys, yelled back the officer who was observing his environment. Okay? So we've got different levels of formality there with the speech, which is fantastic. And the reporting clause is telling me exactly what the characters are doing. So great example there. Right, with 2 minutes left, I just want you to see if there's anything else that you can add to change the formality of the speech.
Yeah? So just not so you don't keep saying the books. Think about how you describe the books. Yeah? We'll finish now. Lovely. Oh wow. That's a lot.
So, whilst on the ship, it crashed. What was that? Yelled Captain. The boat has crashed. Grab. Water is flowing in on lower decks, shouted the houseman. I expected that would to stop the flood. Knowing my samples there, I watched Darwin trying to get his samples. Quick, everyone to lower deck. It is too dangerous. Houseman, stay up. Darwin, stay bottom. Yes.
Fantastic. Right, I think
Amazing. Do you know what I love as well? This time I haven't had to tell you like where does your capital letters go or what do you need here.